Governance is one of the biggest impediments to time to value from AI because it's typically a separate, serialized process that happens after development. Domino is the only platform that integrates governance directly. Instead of being tacked on, it's built in, policies are enforced within the development process, automatically collecting evidence along the life cycle. Instead of a sequential process, it's done in real time. Validators collaborate with data scientists while models are created, addressing issues as they arise. And instead of being fragmented, it's unified. Policies apply to models of all types, whether they run in Domino or not, with end-to-end visibility through dashboards.
In this demo, I'll show you Domino's governance from 3 perspectives: the practitioner, the validator, and the risk team. As the practitioner, I've been tasked with building a credit decisioning model, and I need to ensure it meets our internal model risk management requirements before it can go to production. I'll first bring a governance policy directly into my project. This policy is a configurable version template that defines exactly what evidence I need to collect at each stage. As I work through the policy questionnaire, I can attach artifacts directly from my work. My registered model triggers automatic metric checks against policy thresholds, audit-ready evidence without manual entry. For more specialized requirements, say a data compliance report, fairness evaluation, or third-party tool integration, I can run scripted checks. These are custom evaluations defined by my risk compliance team, and the outputs are captured as evidence automatically. Next, I'll attach the model endpoint to the policy, since this model will be in production with Domino's long-term model monitoring. If drift or performance issues are detected, they'll automatically create track tickets with the severity, owner, and remediation deadlines. Once I've attached everything, I request a review. All my evidence is bundled, linked, and ready. Now let's switch perspectives. What does that look like for the validator? I've just received a notification that a credit decisioning model is ready for my review. I'm brought directly into the evidence notebook. All documentation, questionnaire responses, and artifacts in one view. I can see the model's metrics, review scripted check outputs, and drill into the underlying experiment if needed. The policy defines questions for me as a reviewer, keeping evaluations consistent across the portfolio. Now let's say I spot an issue. I don't have to send an email or open a ticket in another system. I create a finding right here, capturing the severity, assigning an owner, describing the issue, recommending a fix, and setting a deadline. Once satisfied, I can grant either full approval or conditional approval if minor issues can be resolved post-deployment. The bundle advances, and my approval is logged with timestamp and conditions. So we've seen how practitioners submit evidence and how validators review it. But who defines the rules in the first place? Let's look at the risk management perspective. Domino gives risk managers a visual policy builder. No code required. You can start from templates aligned to policies such as the NIST framework, or build from scratch. Define as many stages as needed, each with required evidence, questions, and approvers. Policies can also include conditional logic. For example, an early-stage questionnaire might determine the model's risk tier. A high-risk classification automatically opens additional stages, with more rigorous evidence requirements. This risk tiering happens automatically based on how practitioners answer the questions. No manual routing required. You can add gates to control high-impact actions. Want to require approval before a model is deployed to production hardware? Gates give you policy-driven checkpoints that enforce compliance without practitioners having to leave their workflow. When regulations change, you can update the policy version. Active bundles stay on their original version unless you require an update, while new projects automatically pick up the latest requirements. And for models in production, you can require validation at regular intervals, annual revalidation, quarterly reviews, whatever your framework demands. Domino tracks the schedule and notifies the right people when it's time. The result? A centralized auditable view of your entire AI portfolio. You see which models are in which stage, where approvals are pending, what findings are open, and how compliance is trending across the organization. When regulators ask questions, you have answers, backed by a complete audit trail. So what have we seen? Governance that's not bolted on, it's built in. Practitioners attach evidence as they work, without leaving their tools. Validators review and approve from a single linked notebook. And risk managers define policies once and enforce them everywhere, with a complete audit trail from development through production. The result is validation cycles that used to take months now take days.